Spoiler alert, we're unpacking the whole plot, twist by twist. If you're spoiler sensitive, hit pause and come back when your TBR list catches up. Cheers!
Welcome to the podcast where our reading habits are unhinged.
And so are we.
I'm Gabby.
I'm Miranda. And this is Marginally Unwell.
New year.
New year.
New us. New pod. Not really. Same unwell thing. We do actually have a little bit new.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Oh.
I was going to say we just went into our and did our podcast recap, so I learned a little bit about myself and my reading habits.
Oh, yes.
Also branching out. That's what I thought we were going to say, but go ahead.
I was going to say kind of how we are doing our episodes.
Oh, yes.
So we're changing it up a little bit, starting the new year.
Freestyling. Just kidding.
That would be... No one would watch that.
No, it's insane. Tangent after tangent after where was the point?
Yeah. Now, we are changing it up a little bit. We're kind of going in a direction of how we like to do our book club, where it's more like question and discussion. We're still going to be talking about spoilers.
Yes.
So it just won't be like
plot point,
the whole plot necessarily. So there's potential for a spoiler. If you're worried about that. But we're going to try to change it up. Hopefully we like it better. Hopefully you guys like it better.
Yeah, I'm hoping you guys like it a lot better, because then you can join into the discussion, of course, as well. If you follow along with reading weekly as we do. So
definitely, and let us know if you have thoughts. If you like the old format, or if you're really liking this, let us know either way, because we're interested to see. Well, we're excited about it. Yes. So we got a new year. First book of the new year. Yes. Imagine being thrust. Ew, that's an awful word. Into a world of danger, intrigue, and impossible choices. It's exactly where Callie finds herself in How Does It Feel? Between high-stakes trials and a complicated enemies-to-lovers romance, nothing is ever as it seems. We'll be exploring the suspense, the twists, and the morally gray characters that keep this story thrilling from start to finish. First book, How Does It Feel? Janine O'Reilly.
Yes.
Well, let's hit it. Opening thoughts. How quickly did you feel this story pull you in? Were you heard early, later on? Not at all. Where was the hook for you?
Pretty early on. I really liked the main character, and especially like in the beginning, where she's just like this out of touch, quirky, in her own world character.
So let's go to the cottage.
Her little cottage, and she fed the deer in the backyard, and all.
What a vibe.
Yes, and she was just. I can't remember off the top of my head, but like the curse words she would say, that were PG. Oh, she'd be like, "Oh, crackers" or something. It wasn't that, or she'd be like, "Oh, my stars." Yeah, she was very uniquely herself. So I liked how she was very, very quirky, very nerdy, very like out of touch, and how the community feels about her. She thinks everybody hates her, but actually they like her. And how excited, and I think about like how ecstatic she was for her microscope.
Oh gosh, she was so like, she's like, I know it was a splurge, but I just love it so much. I really need it for my research. She was like fully like justifying the purchase to herself.
Yeah, as we all do.
That was so funny. Yeah.
So I really liked her. I really liked her character, and it really drew me into the story, because I'm like, what is she gonna do?
I did really like her character. I will say I wasn't as hooked early on, because I was expecting this fantasy book. Oh. And I'm just gonna say this right now. The first half of this book, it is very different.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I was a little confused, because I was like, We're gonna read a fantasy. Hooray, I'm so excited. It really didn't match that. And I was like, what is going on? So it took a minute for it to hook me, but so I wouldn't say when it switched over to fantasy, but kind of as we got to know what's his name, the
Crazy Earl.
was that
Earl, the guy that was looking
Oh
for
yeah,
the
yeah. So when we got into his storyline and like his character, I'd say that's where it first started pulling me because I thought they were so cute. Because he was like an old man and he got so excited about
someone being interested in his work.
science and like everything too, and so it was so cute. And I think that's where it had me.
Nice. Would you we kind of went into this a little bit, but would you describe this as fantasy forward or romance? If so, or which one and why?
I mean, the second half I do really feel like was fantasy forward. Honestly, I feel like this question is really referencing like the second part because that's where the fantasy and romance came in.
Mm-hmm.
But I still would say it was more fantasy than romance.
Yeah.
To me. That's how I read it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I think it was definitely fantasy forward. It was more, it was definitely more fantasy forward, and then with undertones of romance.
Yeah, because there's obviously this like they're enemies, but they love each other. Really underneath.
Your favorite trope.
Yeah, but it
was exaggerated.
We're gonna get into that because it wasn't done in my favorite way. I'm gonna tell you, but I really felt like it was a lot of like about the world and like the different types of like their powers and stuff like that. And so I feel like that's why I thought it was more fantasy forward than about the romance.
I agree, at least in the first book, because I feel like it's more fantasy, like world building.
Sure, yeah. And the first half, she wasn't even in a fantasy
setting
realm, so it was not fantasy at all. I was like, did I misread?
What was this category status?
Yeah, it's funny. How did you feel about Callie at the beginning versus the end of the book? Like we said, I mean, they very different points for her.
Yeah, vastly different. How did I feel about? I felt like in the beginning she was like this innocent, like strong to her beliefs, and like there's one point where one of the characters was like, you know, I'm gonna go to I think it was like bass or some kind of fishing spot, and where they kept catching a bunch of fish, and she's like, oh, well, you know, you shouldn't be catching those type of fish, they're out of season. And he's like, I'm not gonna show you my spot so you can like police it. And she's like, no, but if we can see what's going on, what's making it so healthy, we can replicate it somewhere else. So I really liked that part of her character where she was so environmentally conscious of everything, not just like the cute animals, but also like the fish and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And being like science forward and also kind of geeky. I really liked that. The second part of the book, she was definitely, I don't even know, a survivor. I would say a survivor, and then also like determined, because like in the very beginning of the book she would not say a single curse word, and then like towards the middle into the book she was like cousin, and so I was like, okay, well, this took a turn where you did have like a huge change in your life. Yeah, they're completely different. I think I prefer the first version of her. So
it's very interesting. I did like her in the beginning. I thought she was fun and cute, and the science thing I feel like is not something that you see a lot, especially with like it really gave a lot of detail to. I mean, I don't know, it could be wrong, but I felt like it was actual science.
I'm not a scientist,
so I'm like, I didn't fact check it or anything, but it felt like something different, and so that was kind of cool to see. Then when she first goes into the fantasy world, I did not like her at all. I thought she was really annoying. This is not the FMC I asked for, okay? But then at the end, I really liked her again.
Interesting.
So we really have a tumultuous relationship, some real highs and lows. I really liked her, and then really didn't like her again. So, I liked her in both the beginning and end. I feel like at the very end I liked her the most, but for very different in the beginning.
I agree. Like her character, like she went.
Yeah. She completely turned around. Okay, she was not the same person.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree. Once her true role is revealed, did it change how you viewed her earlier choices? Did it change how you viewed her earlier choices?
A little bit, I think, because like I said, it kind of so once she goes there and they're basically like holding her captive, and he's talking about like he's gonna kill her and stuff. And then he ends up putting her through these trials, and he's basically like, if you can beat the trials, then you'll get to go home, and if not, you're gonna die.
Because she did stumble, for a little context, if you haven't read the book, she did stumble, intentionally, unintentionally, find like this Fey realm, and she fell in literally, and got captured, and was, and one of her terms to get released was to go through these trials.
Yeah.
And so she can, earn her freedom or whatever.
Throughout the trials, I found her very annoying. It was like
whining almost.
Yes, it was so whiny. Yeah. And he was like, you're going to go through these trials. And he was like, I know you're a spy. Like, because the MMC is like a prince of this. Yeah, court. Okay. I was going to say city, so that was much better. I was like, that's not right. But like, so he's like the prince of this court. And he's like, I know, like, you're a human spy, and like, sent you and all this stuff. And she's like, no, let me. And then she just was like, looking for my microscope. Yeah. And she's like crying all the time. And she's just like, oh my gosh, girl. And I don't know, I just feel like she complains so much, and more than like, dang, how did I get stuck saving the world? Not that she's saving the world, but like in any other fantasy. And I just found her really annoying. But then we had the big reveal where she actually was
intended
a spy, essentially there to kill him. So that was crazy. I see that ending coming, which is a big deal for me, I feel. And it did make me look back, like, yes, she was so annoying, but like, obviously she did a good job, because I did not. I really thought she was just an annoying girl, and she was not there for spying. So, while I hated her during that part, looking back, I was like, okay,
well, valid. We didn't have context before.
You made me believe you were not annoying.
That's so funny. Yes, I had the same thoughts on it. It made me question like who she truly was, because I feel like at the very, very beginning she was one thing, and then while she was in the middle of it, she was another thing, and then at the very end you get her true self. And I think it was like the last couple chapters of what her mission or her intention was the entire book time. Yeah. So, yeah, my view of her did change drastically throughout each part of the book, because she was entirely a different person. Yeah.
You could have told me they were different characters and I would have believed you. Because they were not. It was not drastic.
Yeah.
Do you think Callie ever truly had agency, or was she always being manipulated?
That I'm not too sure on, because I think she does feel like a sort of kinship or gratitude, or what I don't know the exact word, but towards is it Unseelie or the Seelie court that she was committed to?
Seelie.
The Seelie court. So the Seelie court, I can't remember exactly, but she's in their debt or gratitude, or what was it?
She wants to basically be a part of their family. She wants to be a part of the court. And
because she had lost her mother and her sister, and they had done something for her, right?
So what happened was, when she was really little, she actually saved the queen of the Seelie court. And so then her family died. Like, her real life family died. And so basically it's like unheard of for a human to be able to like come into this court.
Right.
But she's like, you're the only people that I like love, and I want to be a part of it. So they were like, okay, we can't just let you in, but if you like prove your loyalty to us, basically then we can let you in.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was like, well, this is the only family I knew and or like know now, and
Mhm.
these are the only people that I have and that care about me. And so this Sealy queen was like, okay, you have to go kill
The Unseelie Prince.
Unseelie Prince. Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was. I couldn't remember exactly.
Yeah.
It was. Yes. I don't know if she was manipulated the whole time because she. I think she was very vulnerable, and I don't think she was manipulated. I think she was like grasping to something that she wants to be a part of, and they not necessarily took advantage of that, but also was like two birds, one stone. Like, go kill my rival, and you can be a part of our clan, whatever. So I think she's very much made the choices that she made for her own reasons. So I don't necessarily think she was manipulated. I think she just chose unwisely.
Yeah, and I guess it's really going to determine what happened because, like,
Yeah.
we just at the very end of the book find out like that this is what it is and this is the situation, and so who knows, like, really what they're gonna. Are they actually going to let her in? Like that kind of thing. And
It's literally the very last chapter.
yeah, and so I think it's going to be really telling on the manipulation as to like how it all plays out. I don't think we're really there yet to be able to determine like has she been manipulated this whole time. And I agree with you. I mean, she didn't have to like agree to do that. She could have just like not wanted to be a part of.
Yeah.
So in that way, I don't. But also like she's obviously vulnerable, and so they're like, oh well, you can come be with us, but you gotta. So.
Mm-hmm.
I can see both sides of it. I don't really feel like that either, that she was, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, there's more to her story.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see how it all shakes out, and that'll be the determining factor.
TBD. What was your first impression of Mindax, and did it evolve?
I didn't really like him. Kind of a butthead.
Yeah.
Like, he's just really aggressive.
And alcohol.
I mean, but not. Because, like...
Yeah, he's in grade A D-bag.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
It's
like,
honestly...
I cannot believe, like, you're raised this way. Like,
yeah, I feel like I felt that pretty much the whole time.
I agree.
At the very end, he was kind of like, oh, I think I actually really like her. But
he didn't know how to express it.
And it was just so bad. It wasn't like the guy that you love to hate. It was not that vibe. It was like you said, he's a D-bag. It was very, I didn't really like him. And that really didn't change throughout the whole thing. So again, I think it's something we'll see as she navigates what happens next. And I'm interested to see because the prince of the Sealy Court, the one that she's trying to join, is like one of her best friends. And I'm interested to see that relationship, how that plays out, and the one with Mendex and like
that triangle. I 100% agree with you. I think he came across as a pompous, spoiled, grade A D-bag the entire time.
I mean, to the point where he was like, I can't touch you. Because, like, you're unclean, basically.
Yeah, you're disgusting for being human. And, like, just so everything was beneath him. Yeah. Like, we're lucky to be graced in his presence. Yeah. And he's lucky he doesn't crush us underneath his shiny toes. Like, I agree. And it was really gross. Yeah. And even whenever he started to actually have feelings, and I believe he stated that he like loves her, and he like, instead of cherishing her, he treated her as if she was property and his plaything, so no one can touch her, no one can whatever. So it was very like possessive, jealousy, he did not want anything to do with her, but then like anytime anybody else had anything, it was like on site. And it was just like, I don't know. I feel like I liked the more brooding, like, you don't understand me, you can't fall in love with me because, like, they think they're not worth it, not because they think you're not. And that is a good comparison because yes, it was 100% giving that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
I'm allowing you to like me.
Yeah. Ew.
Exactly. Exactly. 100%.
Were his actions toward Callie understandable given his role or unforgivable?
Unacceptable.
Yeah, I don't know. Forgivable?
I don't know about unforgivable. I do think because of his role, you're supposed to be a leader of a court.
Yeah.
And no one wants to follow that. Like, they don't even want to come to report to you about things because of how you may lack out.
Yeah, he's definitely like a fear-based leader versus like a respect.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, if there's any growth development, it would be astronomical. It would be insane.
Yeah.
For me to like.
I don't think it's like unforgivable because he didn't do anything like
necessarily wrong.
So,
yeah.
But like his, what you said, unacceptable though. Acceptable. I need to take a good long look in the mirror, my guy. You wait.
Okay, let's see. At what point did the romantic tension start working for you, or did it ever?
It really didn't for me. I think that has a lot to do with what we were just talking about. Him specifically, because that is not. I can get behind. Obviously, we have talked about on this podcast that one of my favorite tropes is enemies to lovers. This is a very different. This is just not. This is not it. And so it really just didn't ever. I don't know, and I think that it could, but he has to have like a serious character arc, before it's going to. So, as far as this particular book, it didn't ever, but I could see potential. Something crazy happen.
Yeah, I mean, look at what happened to her.
Yeah, exactly. So I could see maybe in book 2. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But as of this one,
I 100% agree with you. I was just like unimpressed the entire time, and even whenever he was trying to like explore his feelings or seeing if he liked her, or even in the background, like his actions, like was very possessive, very toxic. I'm like, no, this ain't it. It never worked for me, even at the end. Whenever he was like, when he realized she was there to like kill him, and he was like, even whenever he told his guards, like, yeah, she stabbed me in the back, quite literally, but no one can touch her.
And that is why I think there's potential.
I agree,
but we got there so late in the book.
Yeah.
That I did not like him so much, and it just happened. That shift happened so late, and so it have to be, like I said, a big character arc, and then like that continue. I'm glad we don't think that.
I don't see how we couldn't be.
I mean, y'all let us know. Is that the kind that you? I mean, I don't know. I ain't gonna yak nobody's him. You know what I'm saying? But
I was gonna say go see a therapist.
Well, I mean, we should probably also. I mean, I don't think it's any better us liking the damaged ones that need fixing than it is.
Okay, you're right.
Okay, I'm just saying. So if you're out there and you are like, no, actually, I really prefer this over what I feel like is more the norm, let us know.
Yeah, it's a very different take on a. But you went full enemy.
You're gonna hate him. Probably hate him. We'll see what happens. Did their relationship feel earned, given the circumstances and pacing?
No, I no.
I mean, I guess that's what I kind of just said. It was like so at the end.
Even throughout it, I don't think any of that was earned. I don't think she earned being spoken to in the manner that he did, even in that type of setting.
Sure.
And whenever she initially fell and we didn't know any of this stuff. And throughout it, I do think it got slightly better, like towards the very, very end, but I mean, not enough for it to be like any kind of acceptable. So,
thank you.
What about you?
Now, I don't know. Like I said, the only thing I can really speak to, I feel, is the pacing, because I feel we're right in the middle of the story where it ended. And
And
so,
it ended on a very big cliffhanger. So it's like there's obviously more to explore.
yes, but there's something to be said about that too, because I can think of like,
Storm?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay. So Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, Honor Storm, they all end on here. But I feel like my feelings were so like grounded in that, like where the way this ended. Again, I it's so weird because I don't feel like I'm grounded, but I also feel like there has to be so much change. I feel like that's kind of contradicting itself, but that's my brain.
I love that for you.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. I don't feel she earned any of that in any way.
I agree. Especially with the context that we had going into it.
Although okay, wait, hold on. This is
Okay.
popping in my head. The whole time he was like, "You're a spy, you're here to kill me." From that lens, is that warranted? If you think somebody's there legitimately to kill you, you're not gonna be like,
Well, I'm not going to invite them to stay the night and have tea, but I also.
I know, but is it not
I don't.
understandable, I guess, that he would.
I don't know. I just.
This one threw us for a loop. I
It
feel
really
like-
did because I also am like thinking about other scenarios. I don't know because I'm having a hard time thinking things through. But I don't know.
It was-
I feel like she went through a lot in those cells, and with that creepy, disgusting
Oh.
guy,
Gosh, that was so
It was-
disturbing. Yeah.
very disturbing. And I don't think that would be acceptable, even if you think that this person is doing this to you, because you don't 100% know.
Sure. Yeah.
You can be like gung ho on this, but there's no way you're 100% certain
Yeah.
that this random person that fell and
Yeah.
has no inclination of any of the stuff, and then you allow that to happen and
Yeah.
know about it.
True.
So I'm still gonna say no, because I mean, even if he was like 90% certain, does it warrant all of the stuff that she's gone through? Maybe a cell,
I
maybe
feel
keeping
like
her
maybe
locked.
the trials. I feel
Yeah.
like that's warranted,
Yeah.
but I don't know. So yeah, I agree. That popped in my head as we're like talking through
Yeah.
it. Maybe whatever.
I mean, I do see what you're saying through that lens, but I mean, that's what she went through is very extreme.
Yeah.
I think some of it, yes, but also all of it, no.
All right, fair.
Who do you think the true antagonist of the story is so far?
Well,
Trick question.
I want to say, but I don't even. Honestly, I'm gonna say the queens.
Yeah.
I feel like they got beef, and they bringing everybody else into it and causing so many problems, and they
Yeah.
trying to just
Generational
work in the background. And so I feel like ultimately it's gonna be that's where I feel.
Yeah, they're the ones where that it originated with.
Yeah, and I feel like
passed down.
the
to us.
Unsui is manipulating Mendex, and obviously she raised him. So I feel like that's like of that. And then I feel like with the way things are going, she's gonna find out like maybe the Sealy Court isn't all she thinks it is.
I think so
The
too.
grass is always greener type thing.
Yeah, I think she's gonna uncover that sometimes too sweet causes a cavity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's gonna.
He is a product of his environment. I agree. I'm gonna go with you because it's really hard to find. There's so many antagonistic characters in this book. It's hard to identify which one is the true one. There
Yeah.
are a lot that you can name off the top of your 5 fingers here.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna agree with the Say the Queens because
Yeah.
they're the ones that are the queen pushed her to go execute him. The queen is pushing him to,
I
be
feel
the
like
way that he
I feel like it would just be too easy to say Mendex. I feel
he's
like
an obvious choice.
yeah, like he's obviously a butthead. So I think it's not gonna be crazy twist. Could be what's his name? The human guy.
Earl.
No, because Earl is Release.
Yeah, that's right.
The
The,
one who like really likes her.
The sheriff guy.
No, I'm only saying that too because obviously we found out that Earl was the Sealy prince, who's her friend,
Uh-huh.
and he was like this guy.
Yeah, I like
Whatever.
that I like his choice of
Yeah.
character as well.
Which then it also made so much sense as to why they were like she was like drawn to him, and also like their relationship was like so cute because he knew what she likes and like I don't know.
That is cute.
But so I'm just saying like Park Ranger homie, he could be a bae.
Or he could be like Charlie from Twilight, just be like,
Also that's very real possibility. Is Callie's betrayal justifiable in any way? Why or why not?
I don't think so, because I'm gonna say she doesn't even need to have like a betrayal story because she didn't necessarily need to be there in the first place. You know,
I also don't think it's a betrayal because
that was her entire intention.
he went there to do
And
that.
he never once was like, yeah, I like you.
Yeah.
You know, it was like 100% on one-sided, like, do I like you?
Yeah, so just because he views it as a betrayal?
Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean it's necessarily a betrayal.
Yeah, I don't feel it was.
Yeah, I agree.
So, if we're considering it one, I think it was justifiable. Also, to play devil's advocate here, if I'm like how I brought up, you know, if we're seeing it as he thinks that she's there
Through the
to
lens.
kill him, then it has to be justifiable because of all the horrible stuff he did.
True. Yeah.
I think either way you shake it, justified.
Here we are.
Kill him.
Which side character stood out most to you and why?
I'm gonna say the two that I'm thinking of right now is the Alistair guy, the Panther.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like basically the prince's assassin.
Yeah.
Is basically what he is. And I loved that her like connection to animals and stuff made him be like, oh, you're actually a good person.
Yeah, whenever she pet him and wasn't afraid.
Yeah. And so he was like he was supposed to like kill her, and then it was so cute, and he was like, out of all the people, like I've killed so many basically, and like I'm not gonna and like it's not gonna be at my hand.
Right.
And so I thought that was interesting. And then also his brother, I guess. Or was it his cousin? They were related somehow. The other shifter who was the brat that came in her cell.
It was Mindax's brother, I thought, or cousin.
That's what I said.
Oh,
yeah. They were related somehow.
Yeah, I would say cousin.
I think it was too, but I think he like lived with them, and so it was kind of more like brotherly relationship, but was technically cousin.
Yeah.
But he was like trying to help her and be there because he was a shifter and could shift into animals, they had like a connection, and I just thought he was so sweet. And it was like kind of like he was put in his family and he knows this stuff is like wrong, but he doesn't really know how to get out of it, and so he was just trying to like get her out. He was trying to help her escape.
Yeah.
So those are the two that I would say.
Yeah. The one that stood out to me the most was Earl.
Yeah.
I really liked Earl and I also really liked their relationship together because she kept checking herself with him because he was like scruffy, he was very thin, he didn't, he was unkempt with like clothes and hair and all these things. And she's like, I shouldn't call him crazy because that's not nice. That's not a nice thing. So she's like caught herself calling him that. And then I really liked whenever he found out about the microscope, and then they went on like nerdy, and he was like talking to her about the mushrooms and stuff to like find those to help like those moths. I like their whole like relationship going into that. So that is a character that stood out to me a lot, and I really liked the Panther because I feel like whenever he was I don't want to say sentenced, but he was the one that was carrying out her sentence of death, and he said like, no. And I feel like in their realm, like that was very profound, like him disobeying an order from Mendax. And he's like, I'm not gonna be the one to, execute her. She's not worthy, or not worthy, but not one to be done.
Yeah.
So those two are the ones that stuck out to me the most.
Was there anything about the world or magic system that you wanted more of?
Honestly, more of the moths, because in the beginning she kept talking about them. She went on this whole side quest trying to get a medicine for the moths because they were dying because of some kind of fungus or something. What was it? They were dying because of something, and she needed this fungus to help them, like, put medicine on or get them to use medicine for these moths so they could survive. And they're also supposed to be the key to the Fey realm, is what she was, kind of alluding to. So I would really have liked to see more of those and more of the moths to be more of like maybe a part of the magic system, but more a part of the world for sure, because they were the ones that were the in between worlds, I would say.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to see more of that.
That's a good one. I didn't even think about that. And honestly, I feel like we will see more of it in the second one, because again, it was kind of like, even though we knew she was looking for them and stuff, it wasn't really revealed the bridge between worlds until like closer to the end again. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we'll probably.
I hope so.
I feel like other than that, it was pretty like standard fantasy. I do feel like there was a lot more of like with the shifting and stuff like that, and like the animals. So I liked that because I feel like I have seen it for sure. I feel like you don't see it a ton. It's not like
for the shifters. Don't see what a ton.
Like so heavily, like with the animals and like the shifting and like her connection to them.
Yeah,
like that kind of magic.
Yeah, I do agree to that, because a lot of times I think whenever I think of the shifting, it's usually some kind of like fantasy animal. It's not necessarily like a real animal.
A rat, a fox,
a panther. Yeah, it's like a bear owl or a jackalope. I don't know.
Yes, I agree with you.
Some kind of hybrid of multiple animals.
And that was also like kind of her connection to everything. Yeah. Like her connection to like
even in the human realm.
So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I would agree with you too. I want to see more about that.
How did the cliffhanger ending land for you?
I liked it. I don't know why that took me.
You're waiting for me to answer my own question.
I don't know what was happening up here. I liked it. Like I said it earlier, I was surprised by it whenever Earl ended up being
Yeah. I thought
that was crazy. And then to find out that she actually was a spy and didn't kill him the whole time, I was like, dang girl. I was like, you went hard in the mommy of this girl.
What is it called? What actors do? Method.
Oh,
she went straight method.
I liked it, honestly. To be frank, I kind of struggled a little bit through this book. The drastic differences from like beginning to end, it was kind of hard.
Gosh.
And so I feel like the ending cliffhanger anger kind of brought it back for me. I was like, oh dang, okay, actually that was kind of good.
It did tie it together.
Yeah. I liked it. How were you feeling about it?
I think the cliffhanger did change the tone of the book. I think it was very well placed. I think it was needed in this book. Yeah.
What consequences do you expect Callie to face next?
I'm sure that she's gonna face some kind of retaliation from the court that she escaped from. What does that look like? I don't know. I don't think it's going to be led by Mendax. I think that's going to be different. I'm also intrigued to see how much of the the court she's trying to get into. I don't remember which one.
Sealy.
The Sealy. I'm interested to see how much of the Sealy court is going to hold up to their word, and if that's going to be tested in protecting her, because she's enemy number one. So how committed are they to keeping her a part of the family?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I kind of said this earlier too, I don't think that court, the Sealy court, is everything that she thinks it's going to be. And I think the consequences are going to be of her, expectations of, coming into this. So I do like what you said, though, about, it would be interesting to see how much they protect her. Because obviously the Unsealy are about to be after her, even if it's not Mendix himself.
And it'll be interesting.
It's definitely going to be who I can end up trusting, because I think that's where his character is going to come in. He's going to, because he obviously realized at the end, I love her.
Mm-hmm.
And is he going to try to convince her that he's actually the one and they're not good?
Yeah.
And what is she going to have realized by that time too?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think there is. I think that's where.
Yeah, it's setting it up for him to have redemption.
Right. I think that's where it's going. And I don't think redemption is needed for her. I think it's going to be her figuring out who is actually.
I agree. It's not a lot of context for her to be redemption. To need redemption.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how the story was unfolded.
Because I guess we don't feel that it was actually a betrayal what she did. And that would be the only thing that she would need redeeming of. But
I feel like it would be a betrayal if she went in there trying to be a bride and seducing him, and then her trying to assassinate him.
Yeah,
that would be a betrayal. You know, because her intentions were.
Yeah, because she did lie, because she obviously was I'm just a normal human. Yeah. But it wasn't oh, I actually have fallen in love with you, and then I think that too.
Yeah,
I think there would have been less room for. Ooh, girl, you went too deep.
Yeah, and she didn't necessarily, she was good to the other characters, Yeah. I don't think she has any kind of need for redemption.
Yeah.
At least from my perspective.
Yeah.
And anyway.
What was the most memorable or unhinged moment of the book for you? The most unhinged for me was the creep that went in the cell with her. That was just disgusting.
Yeah. And that's the first one that comes to mind. That was very... Anyway, the other thing that I thought was just was pretty unhinged was the storyline of her getting into the court. So that night, her and Earl were supposed to go to dinner.
Oh, okay.
And they had gone out earlier in the day to go try and find some mushrooms, and they had taken her microscope. Her microscope.
Yep.
And she was getting all dolled up. She put on a dress. She was putting on makeup. She had heels, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's 8:30 at night, 9 o'clock at night, and I forgot my microscope in the middle of the woods, so I need to go get it immediately." And she calls Earl, and it's raining, and he's like, "Don't go out there, what are you doing? I have to reschedule, blah, blah, blah." And she's like, I'm like, "Girl, you got plans. Your microscope is not going to go anywhere. No one is going to go find it. It may get wet. There has to be some kind of warranty on it if it's that expensive,
Also, she was so in love with that microscope to leave it out there. Got it.
Yeah. And you didn't even find the mushrooms to begin with. So, what else would have distracted you from, leaving the microscope? So I feel like that was a very, no scope to, hyper fixation moment in the book. But anyway.
That's a good one, too.
So, that brings us to, would you continue the series? Why or why not?
I do think I am going to continue it. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Until, the cliffhanger, until the end, I was kind of this was not what I was really thinking, and didn't really love it, but the end, it really pulled me back, and I was like, well, no, I have to know what happens. I think
And just like that.
I think I'm going to continue it. Because I think if that hadn't happened, I probably would not. But
I reeled you back in. I am not. I think the ending was really good. I think that it was really needed to tie the book together. Otherwise, it would have been just a crazy book. Go ahead.
You know what's getting me about this? Because of my experience with ACOTAR.
I think you and I briefly talked about this.
And I think that's why I feel like I have to.
I can't.
I get it.
I just can't.
But I'm like, what if? Because we all know beyond book 1, it got so fucking good.
It did.
And so we'll just do the thing. I don't know. I feel like if I read it and I'm like, girl, it was so good, I feel like you'll do
I'll
it.
pick it back up, yes, because 100%. If
That's what happened.
yes, 100%. Like with ACOTAR, if it was just me reading this book and we had not like even ACOTAR, like if you had not read it, if we're not reading it together, or what, like it was just my own read, would not have continued the series. 100%. And and I would have missed out and so sad. But I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I kind of touched on this on our 2025 recap. I don't know what it is. I'm just having a hard time like with fantasy. I don't know if it's just the season of it. I don't know if it's the authors right now. Maybe it's just the type. I don't know.
I feel like it did just enough to make me wonder if I'm going to end up with like.
Yeah. The curiosity that got me. 100%. If I had read this like 5 years ago, I would have continued it.
Yeah.
Because I would have had to I would have had to be in, what's going on. But now I just rather pick up another book. So
I get that too.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know if it's, or maybe just, tell me this, give it to me as hot goss on the phone. I'm happy hearing it that way too.
So, with that being said, would you recommend it to others?
Yeah, I would.
I'm on the fence about it. Because if this was it, no. If I read it, because I told everybody in our life, I was like, when I read Avatar, and I said, telling, just push through the first 75% of that book.
And 75% is crazy.
And it is
crazy.
It so is, but I'm like, it gets so much better.
Yeah.
Like, it gets so much better.
And granted, it does. It really does. I'm not taking that away.
So, but I'm going to see. I'll let y'all know.
Yeah. Add it to your 100 book.
My 100 book goal.
100 book.
Her writing out of a lineup, but I don't think it's bad writing.
Yeah, I agree. Free engagement.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've said it that it was a bit of a roller coaster. They were flip flopping and personalities by the second, which I guess to some degree kept me engaged. Because I was like, what is happening? But I did feel, because it was so crazy from the beginning to the end, it was a little bit disjointed for a while.
Yeah.
Until we found out the ending, and then I was like, okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I agree. I think I liked it more in the beginning. I was more engaged in the beginning because of how quirky she was and her interactions with all of the town people. Do you like some of the points in whenever she was in the fairy realm, like some of the parts in the trials? Well, only one part in the trial, which was, the poisoning part. The other trials I don't remember. And I'm having a deja vu from Powerless and their trials where it's like I only remember one. So not very memorable. I don't know. I think I would have liked it more if it was more like the first half and she kind of like discovered them and was falling into their world and her finding her place and like that kind of thing, and then like falling into like some kind of dramatics. but she kept with that character. And I think with her jumping from different character to different character, blah blah blah. Not that she was jumping from character, but like her. I don't know how to explain it. It was just so much for me from back and forth, and it was like the engagement for me was hard because of that. Yeah.
Or all rating.
That one wasn't a Grandmother's book. So I gave it a 2.5.
I'm at a 3.
Okay.
I'm at a 3. Most of the book was at a 2, and I like it.
The very last 2 chapters brought it to a 3. That's crazy.
It really was
Redemption.
So out of there, and it really, like I said, changed my perspective of a lot of what I read. I'm gonna say 3, and I'm hopeful for the series.
Okay.
So that is how we feel about how does it feel.
Love that. Love that. Okay, so that's a wrap on that. Next week is theme week. So our theme is self-discovery, trend, and transformation. Resolutions not required. We committed.
I got myself in enough with the 100 books.
Yeah, we committed pretty heavily. Our book for next week is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. So now's your chance to grab a copy and meet us here next Sunday. We'll have that.